Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary Ashton, and this is our NXT review. And I gotta say, on this side of the table, happy days may be here again because I actually really enjoyed tonight's NXT. The closing segment, and I do mean the closing segment, the final few moments of the show, notwithstanding, because I was kind of meh about that. I thought this was a really solid show. Even the main event, and I should clarify what I saw of it, because I did have to tend to some stuff, but I think I saw like pretty much the final act in full. Really wasn't that bad. In fact, I actually quite enjoyed it. So I'm actually feeling very positive about NXT. And I know, given my very strong sentiments before New Year's Evil, it's quite a 180. But how'd you feel about tonight's episode, man?
Well, I definitely wasn't as enthusiastic about it as you were. Maybe that has to do with the fact that I wasn't able to watch the very first segment, and I still have a very sour taste in my mouth from the final moments of the show. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of good stuff on this show, and really just the fact that we got Cameron Grimes multiple times tonight. Like, please feature him as much as you want to feature Grayson Waller. Please.
Yes, I am loving the Cameron Grimes agenda that NXT has decided to adopt.
Yeah.
Like, on that 2.0 especially, and I don't retract anything I said. I did have fun tonight. But that, if you want me to constantly have fun, is something you will continue to embrace. I am really excited for his next few months, hopefully. This program will last. But yeah, let us get into our first segment, Heat of the Night. I guess if I had any nitpick, I won't even say I have a full-blown heat of the night tonight. I guess my only nitpick would be that, again, they're trying to position LA Knight, and I stand by what I told you before. I feel like they're trying to position him in a way in that Johnny Gargano role where he's like the heart and soul, like the last remnant of Black and Gold, especially with the rumors of Ciampa and Dunn maybe having a Rumble spot and possibly even being called up,
Oh,
right?
I didn't know about that. So, TIL.
So if that's true, then they could position LA Knight as like the lone defender of what Black and Gold is all about in a very emotional, spiritual sense in a way, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Because, like, to me, Black and Gold, and this is just me giving my opinion, our conceptions may differ, and that's totally fine, but I always associated Black and Gold with, like, work rate, high stakes, matches, these guys that could go,
like,
and women,
not
30,
to
60
be
minutes.
all like condescending about it, the way that like we know that some people and like CM Punk has already been, but we've always associated Black and Gold with wrestling, and LA Knight is very much sports entertainer first, wrestler second.
Right. And, there is a place for that. I don't want to needlessly, shit on LA Knight. There is a place for that. But if you're trying to be like the last bastion of Black and Gold, I don't see it. And that's
better.
just me. Yeah, pretty much. I want to keep
I hate
it.
to sound again like we're like making fun, but like literally suck less.
But yeah, for me, it's really nothing against LA Knight personally. The same way that I think I've been very good about being open to the Grayson Waller experiment, we'll call it. To me, where I conflict with NXT is I don't think it's like, to me, NXT is trying to put square pegs in round holes, and I'm like, no, you've got to put these acts in their proper place, and this isn't it. Although, truthfully, I am starting to believe a bit more than this Grayson Waller thing might succeed. They might pull it off. LA Knight, though, it's bad when I can say that about Waller, but with LA Knight, I'm still convinced. Like, maybe you'll have a little bit more success as a babyface, but let me clarify. You might have a bit more success, but relative to the success that you want to achieve, I still think that's unattainable. So
Yeah,
that was just,
it's very clear to me. Like we've been saying for God, it feels like a decade at this point. It might be close to it, but this dude wants really desperately to be The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's fine to aspire to, but if you're not making any, and I'm being sincere, if you're not making any headway, adjust your goals, make a new plan of attack. It's like what I say about, Pete Dunne. I think Dunne does have something to offer, and hell, he does seem like a genuinely good dude. One of the few let me run that back. One of the few people that wasn't a scumbag or outed as one with speaking out and actually promoted speaking out in a way. But if you're in stasis with this freaking character and you're not even in your 30s yet, it's really bad when you're that young and you've already plateaued. Like, it's a weird parallel to make, but we just did a Stardom show today, and now Momo is fully Oedo Tai. She's only 21, and she's already gone through, like, a big character shift, a different kind of heel rather than a, like, Io Shirai type heel where it's like, I'm going to outwork everybody, and I know I'm fucking good, and deal with it. Right. She, like, actively wants to hurt people. She kicked Azumi with a wrench in her kick pad in the face today. That's embracing evolution. That's experimenting with character. Yeah. Dunn's never done that. No. And so it's really a concern to me when you plateau at such a young age. And when it comes to LA Knight, you're 38 years old. You're still doing the same thing. Like, to me, I guess, I don't even know why I brought Dunn in, but I think I brought him in for me personally to say that I look at them as two sides of the same coin. One plateaued really young, and one's just been staying in a lane that he's comfortable with, but will never be legendary in. And there's a difference. Right. So, yeah, I feel like I handled that well. I feel like I didn't turn up excessively. So, yeah, that's just my my
John,
nitpick
I am so proud of your face right now.
I'm proud of it, too, because I am being sincere, and I don't want to needlessly pick on anybody, but it's just how I see it, and that's why we have a podcast, right, to say how we see things. So, yeah, I don't like that they're really committed to LA Knight, not just as a babyface, which would be fine enough, but as a top babyface, which is a qualitative difference, when in my opinion, and I know you missed this, Ashton, because I know you said you missed like the opening minutes of NXT, Braun Breaker to me fits far more naturally in that role. And I do mean naturally, in my opinion. I don't know how Foster feels. I always like Foster to be the barometer because I know we have different tastes about things. But when I heard Breaker's promo tonight as NXT champion, I'm like, yeah, that's a guy you build a company around, and he didn't need to like imitate a cutout of somebody else that a company revolved around at a present time. Because like you said, LA Knight wants to be The Rock. There was a time where the company revolved around Rock and Austin. Right. So LA Knight, he's copying a model. Breaker's making his own model. That's the difference. And yeah, so just wanted to go on that little digression there. But yeah, all of this is to say that's a nitpick for me. What about you? Do you have anything on the table that you want to talk about?
No, my biggest one was absolutely the whole thing with, fucking LA Knight and them using AJ Styles or trying to use AJ Styles to try and get him over, to try and push him as more of a baby face and try and get the crowd to warm up to him. Honestly, though, the crowd they're in front of didn't need warmed up to him. They already fucking like him.
Yeah, look.
It's the rest of us that aren't buying in. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to this crowd, like, it's not even that they like LA Knight. I just think they're just so disrespectful. It's not even about who they like and don't like. They're just so disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I know Javaris is, like, clamoring for NXT to leave. And honestly, maybe that'll be another thing that enhances my NXT 2.0 experience, is getting the fuck out of that arena.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I've heard they are, aren't they? Are they, like, going to a different... I don't know.
I have heard the same thing. Yeah, I've heard the same thing you have. My question is like, can we, like, expedite that process? Can we just be here, maybe next week even, if possible?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
But,
wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah. So, yeah, if that was your biggest thing, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because, again, that was the only thing on my roster, so I've got nothing.
I think that was really the only thing that made me go like, oh, God.
Yeah, I hear you on that, man. I hear you on that. All right, then. Well, then let us get into our NXT review.
Yay.
We open up with, a Braun Breaker. Well, first of all, recap of New Year's Evil, Braun Breaker winning the title. Mm-hmm. And he comes out and he cuts a really, like it Foster said in the chat, a short, sweet, and to the point promo that I really liked because he more or less says, first of all, he gives credit to Ciampa. So, he does put the other guy over, which I like. Yeah. Foster and I kind of raised an eyebrow when he referred to Ciampa as an amazing human being, because we're like, I don't know about that one, Chief. But, I love how Braun then goes on to put himself over, because even though the website that I'm on is only giving a recap, I think I do remember some lines, and Foster, I think you'd be able to help me corroborate this. Braun said, anybody that wants to step up and challenge me for the NXT Championship, I'm ready for it. I love that we don't have an off season. You have to get back up on the horse every week and show you're the best. And if you think you could take this title from me, anytime you come to the gym to train, I've already trained. Anytime you're watching tape, I've already watched it. You're leaving early, I'm staying. And you know why? Because I'm the NXT champion. I loved it. I loved it. He was pretty much saying, whatever you're doing, not only have I done it, I'm doing it better.
Yeah.
Because I'm the man around here.
That's good
I love
shit.
that.
That is
shit
good
right fucking shit, man. Like, no, I really got to see. Here's the thing: if we can be really critical, particularly of the Pete Dunnes and stuff, because they are like young-ish and stuff, I got to give all the praise to Braun Breaker because the way he is progressing and really stepping into this role, it's the same kind of credit I gave to Utami. Hey, being a world champion of any promotion, I don't care if the height of your fucking notoriety is selling out a skating rink. A world champion's a world champion. And anytime a company, especially a company that hopes to go somewhere, puts the title on you, and in this case, I know NXT isn't a company, it's a brand, but I still think the same sentiment applies.
Right, it does.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because it's like, sell the fucking tickets, move the fucking needle. And, I was very proud of Utami as world champion at such a young age, and she handled herself with such poise. I think Breaker is very similar. I think this dude is going to hit the ground running. I think he already has. And I think it's going to be wonderful to see his NXT title reign. And my God, if we already got a little glimpse of it, I am so excited. I may or may not have had to change my undergarments because as he's leaving, Santos Escobar's music hits. He exposes that gorgeous waist and tells Braun, I'm coming for that NXT championship. And believe me, there was a
John's
lot of
coming for something else.
Exactly. Yeah, you beat me to it. So we go from that to Santos versus Zion Quinn. Now, I know you missed this, so I'm just still going to take the lead. And then you tell me when you've seen something, because I would love to give you the ball. I don't want to hog the talking time.
All right, I will.
But, to me, this was a solid match. I mean, Santos, I say it every week. And, if I wasn't so right and he wasn't such daddy material, I would get tired of saying it. But I need to reemphasize, this is one of the best wrestlers in the goddamn company. I would have made that point before the mass exodus that WWE caused, and I sure as shit will say it after the fact. He is so good, dude, at freaking everything. His psychology here, he's working over Zion's leg. Zion, to his credit, is selling it like $1 million. They have good chemistry in there. And I'll admit that I've never really been a fan of these types of storylines. The two guys fight, the winner gets the girl. I did like when Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt did it over SoCal Val, but that's only because that Ladder of Love match, which was still gimmicky as hell, Val still had agency in the finish.
Well, and I feel like Elektra had agency in this finish, too.
And I was about to say, that's what made me kind of look past this, because Elektra had agency, and she guided her.
And the thing is, too, like, not only did she end up having agency, which is what needed to happen in order for the storyline to make sense, but even ahead of time last week, she basically said out loud that she was going to be the one that decides the winner tonight.
Yeah, she did tell all of us.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. She was like, I told you. I might not have told you twice, but I told you. Yeah. God, that is scary how we're having, like, almost the same thoughts here. But, yeah, man, it was a good match. I liked how they played the finish, too, because that low blow was clean as shit. It wasn't overly, like, cartoony or done. It's not like the Flair ones where they get on the knees and it's like, uppercut to the balls. I mean, nothing will beat Shinsuke's low blows. Shinsuke is a fucking god of the nut shot. But this was
Testicle Hadouken.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, actually, it would be Testicle Shoryuken.
Oh, brings back memories, doesn't it, Alan?
Yeah, he was on tonight, too. How relevant.
God, no wonder he's a flat earther, because his globes got flattened by Shinsuke. But yeah.
God, wow. You went all the way there, didn't you?
Can I just say, between the start of recording and now this, I have been just on point today.
You've been something special today, without a doubt.
I appreciate the acknowledgement, sincerely, because I always like it when it's not in my own mind, because then I feel like Ric Flair. But, yeah. Zion gets pushed back in the ring after the low blow. Phantom driver by Santos. He gets the win. Here's why I like this, okay? Now, first of all, the biased opinion, because Daddy won. I mean, Santos, I was right the first time. Daddy won. So that's the one thing.
Oh, my God.
The second thing, and I am going to be more serious here, Zion didn't need to win this program right away. He's still going to be a freaking star. And honestly, I look at every call-up as a reset anyway, in a way. And if they want to call up Zion, I honestly could see him being one of the types that does better on the main roster than in NXT. I could be wrong about that, but I think he has a great look. He's solid in ring. I think he could be very similar to what Damian Priest is doing right now. And I got to give Raw credit. Like, I've been totally checked out, but I'm keeping my finger somewhat on the pulse. They are making him a very strong U.S. champion to the point where when he drops that thing, I could see him going after the WWE title.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, I wouldn't bat an eye, and I don't think you would either. So I could see Zion definitely taking the Priest route.
Depending on who the champion is, really.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. But I think more immediately with NXT's landscape, it's good that Santos won this because he just had the stare down with Breakker. And now I'm like, okay, now I can believe him with his full family in tow, including Elektra. That's a legitimate threat to Braun. Obviously, I don't think he's going to drop the title that soon, but you need to create the perception of a threat. And I feel like they did that with this match. So I feel like this match accomplished even more beyond the bounds of its own immediate storyline. And I really like that. So.
I feel like that's what all wrestling should achieve. Like, all wrestling should strive to accomplish more than one thing with any given segment or match.
I agree with you 1,000%. Because you see the dividends here. Because in one match, you wrap up this angle, you protect Zion because Elektra hit him with a low blow, not even to his face, it was behind his back. That's another thing I liked about it, too. She wasn't even looking at him when she did it. So you really protect him doubly in my mind. You give Santos the win. You've got him with a really strong, united faction. And honestly, he's right where he belongs now. Because I don't need him to be NXT champion. I love Braun as NXT champion, but I need Santos in the main event.
Right.
I need his talent to mirror his card position, and we're finally doing that. So I love this. I feel like I really, especially the first hour tonight of NXT, I thought was really good, and this was, I think, was a big reason why. So
was the 6-woman tag match in the first hour? Because I feel like that might have been my favorite or second favorite part of the show.
It might have been honestly, I think it might have been the second hour.
Yeah.
Possibly. So, yeah, I mean, second hour wasn't bad either. And I actually have good things to say about that women's match, too, but I'll be very curious to hear your thoughts. So after that, we get Mandy Rose doing a poolside photo shoot. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I should do this for every review, but sometimes I like letting you guys into my psyche. No, don't back up. Don't back up. I'm just meaning how I talk to my screen while I'm watching the show. And so I'm watching this photo shoot, and she's like talking about how, this is how your NXT Women's Champion celebrates. Hey, guys, get my good side. And then I'm like, well, wait, you're a heel, so shouldn't you believe that every side's your good side? And then moments later, she's like, who am I kidding? Every side is my good side. And I'm like, oh, my God, I hate that I understand this so thoroughly. Fuck. So she's just talking about how no one will take the title from her, and she makes the title hot. Oh, God, I never thought I'd cringe hearing a championship described that way, but man, you know what I was thinking watching this? And I don't know why. Maybe it's because you and I think, have similar tastes, and sometimes our dreams can get a little out of hand. But I'm like, man, I want Gigi to turn on you, like maybe even this year when Toxic Attraction's had enough time. And I want Gigi to be the one that takes the title from her. Like, they just get so sick of Mandy feeling like the hottest one in the group. Because she even said in this photo shoot, like, nobody's hotter than Mandy. And I want Gigi to take umbrage with that. And I want her to take the fucking championship. And I think that'd be amazing. Will I get what I want? No, of course not. But
dude, she was like describing Toxic Attraction, and she was like, we are 3 sexy, powerful women or whatever the hell. And I was like, oh, honey, you should maybe look in like a nice big mirror with your group. I see one sexy. I don't see 3 sexies.
Exactly. We, Gigi for NXT Women's Champion. That is the agenda that I'm promoting in my household. Yes. So, yeah, let's get after it. But after this, we got Cameron Grimes versus Damon Kemp.
Damon Kemp, a.k.a. Bobby Stevenson.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we were talking about it in the Discord. Everybody join the Discord if you haven't already. Now, you saw this, right? This is where you came in.
I did see this, yes. I wasn't paying full attention. I was still kind of settling in, but I did see this, yes. I saw Kemp through some nice suplexes.
Yes, and we have to talk about the greatest thing about this segment. Cameron Grimes and Malcolm Bivens in the same segment.
I was going to say, dude, when this was happening, I literally had the thought, this is going to be John's favorite NXT segment of the year so far because it features Cameron Grimes in a match and Malcolm Bivens showing his face.
Yes, I mean, first of all, just to be crystal fucking clear, you are 100% right on all counts. Second of all, quick side note, just because I was thinking about this, especially throughout this segment, um, where is Duke Hudson? I need to formally appraise that scalp. And I'm very upset that I haven't been able to do that yet, especially because Duke Hudson on some real shit's a very talented dude. I'm missing Duke Hudson. We need to get him back in other programs now.
Dude,
Like,
this is what
you
I
know,
feared. I kept on saying the whole time, I want Cameron to win the feud, but I don't want them to just forget about Duke Hudson after the feud's over.
yeah, because like, here's the thing. It obviously wouldn't be the first time that WWE has done this, looking at you for what you did to Serena Deeb, but it would be real shitty if you had a guy shave his fucking head only to do nothing with him after the fact.
And then
So,
release him.
yeah, and then release him. So, I mean, it's within your nature because you just have no conscience whatsoever. But just again, really shitty.
Just to be clear,
But
by the
yeah,
way, Malcolm Bivens' height.
I mean, there are a lot of numbers. 7'2" was a number floating around. I know you said
Oh,
6'9". We'll go with 6'9".
okay.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So obviously, while Malcolm's towering over this match, yeah, I mean, I actually do agree with Foster's feedback that he had in the Discord that he said he wished this match would have gone on a bit longer. I agree. This
Give
felt more
Damon
like
a little bit more credit.
yeah, exactly. Um, but Damon, you know, he looked good here. I like the belly to belly he hit. I like some of the stuff he hit. Cameron does win with the cave in. You know what's so great about the cave in as a finisher is that even when you don't hit it fully correctly, because Cameron he more or less just got one boot in the face. Even when you botch it, as long as you make it look good enough, it's still a legit finisher. Because
Yep.
even though Cameron got the one boot instead of the two, I'm like, well, that was a boot directly in the face. Like, I'd fucking
Yeah,
buy it. You
with
practically
all of
curb
his weight
stomped a
coming
guy's.
down onto it. Yeah,
Yeah, like,
can
you know,
imagine.
yeah. So when you're talented enough, that's what happens. So I guess everyone else,
Suck
suck
less.
less. I really don't know what to tell you.
I think you
So
do know what
Malcolm,
to tell him, and you just told it to him.
well, God, I sure showed myself. Um, but
You
what do we
sure
think
showed
about?
face.
Ooh, what do we think about Kemp joining Diamond Mine? You know, until they release another Diamond Mine member and they keep fucking over this faction. How do we feel about it?
I dig it. I dig it a lot. I'm into it. I'm down. Let's do it.
That's pretty much the same enthusiasm and energy I have about your face on the regular. So I'm glad we're unified on this.
Well, I'm glad
That's
that
great.
it's regular. That's nice. It's that's one thing.
Yeah. So we got Gacy and Harland backstage. And nobody cares. So let's move on.
Thank
Um,
you. You're so kind. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. You deserve this.
God,
Again, Gacy
fuck
and Harland.
every single thing about these two motherfuckers. This is
Yeah,
my perpetual heat of the night, and I won't even bring it up every week because it would get repetitive.
yeah, like we said we do. You know, going back to reviews, but yeah. Speak your truth, man. It's a perpetual heat of the night for a good reason. Because fuck these guys. I'm over it.
Their existence brings me heat.
Yeah, I tried to be good about it. I tried to keep an open mind. That's my new policy. I'm gonna try and keep an open mind as best I can. But if I've just decided it's over, then what else can I say? But they didn't win me over. That's all I can say about it. And these guys have not won me over.
Never have I
Anofe,
ever wanted more to hiss at a tag team than these motherfuckers.
I'll do it for you. There. See, now you could save your dignity and credibility
Really,
because I used not mine.
really, really high in saliva content.
Yeah, it definitely had a lot of production going on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I always like to
but
go for more of like a whispery hiss, like a kind of thing.
I see. But yeah, Harland and Gacy will not be in the Dusty Classic. They
Have
lost
I
the
ever told you
play-in
about
via
Sunny?
disqualification. No.
My dad had a cat when I was a teenager named Sunny. She was an orange cat. She was a breed called a minx, and like she didn't have a tail, and she was just like she got sick, and I think she had like some kind of like feline leukemia or something. But it turned her into just a bitch. She was awful. And
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry to
that
hear
was how
that.
she hissed. She was always more of like a really airy, like a kind of hisser. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. But she
Um.
was, dude, I remember the one time I was just sitting on a fucking recliner. And she, while I was sitting on this recliner, walked up and lied down on the top of the recliner, like behind my head. and she was just chilling, and it was cool. I was like, oh, we're kind of having like a normal time together. This is nice. And out of absolutely nowhere, she started batting me in the back of the head and made me get up off the chair and leave.
Damn. Sonny be like, this isn't what you thought it was. Get out.
Yeah, exactly. You got
No,
it.
Sonny, let me love you, please. No. Over it.
I feel like you were like 80% of the way to lemon grab there.
Yeah. But no, to get back on point, yeah, these guys won't be in the Dusty Classic because Idris and Malik Blade will be. And you know what? Good for this team. Good for this fucking team. Yeah, I like Enofe, and Blade, honestly, from what I've seen of him, I've got nothing bad to say about him either. So it's a Dusty Classic. Sometimes guys like this that maybe aren't ready to like really pop off in singles are better in a tag team because you can learn on the job in a way, and you're getting exposure. It's a win-win. So good shit. Again, love it. Better when reunified. Unless our dissension can also be productive. That's the only caveat. Then, wait, no, I must be missing something here. There's no way.
Oh no.
Where I'm reading the site that I pulled this from, they're forgetting because they already have the crowbar on a pole matchup between Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo, but they're forgetting that D'Angelo had a promo before this, and he more or less said that Dunne is a lot like his pet. I think his pet's actually named Stromboli because of course it is. And
okay, that's too adorable. What?
Yeah, you know, dude,
stop being adorable.
I'm here for the camp, honestly. I really fucking am.
I don't have a problem with camp, but heels being adorable is where I draw the
line. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like me on television. That's wrong. You know, that's just I don't know.
I want
oh my God.
On television. What do you mean?
I would have way too much anxiety being on with these fucking opinions. Nah, I talk too much shit. I can never be on TV. I'm gonna have too many receipts coming my way.
Incredible.
The NXT apparently tweeted a GIF from this crowbar on a pole match with the quote tweet prosciutto power. Oh my God, I'm dead. Way to commit, and I mean that sincerely. But yeah, crowbar on a pole matchup. I'm gonna be honest. I like this, and I honestly think Tony D'Angelo has improved significantly in ring to the point where I saw him in a spot like this, and I'm like, it works. I think he did well in it. Dunne getting the crap beat out of him made me happy. Get the fuck off my program. That's pretty much the extent of my notes. How do you feel about this match?
Yes, I am in very much strong agreement. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, match pretty much ends when fucking D'Angelo takes the crowbar to Dunne's
kneecap?
Face.
Oh.
Well, it might have also hit him in the kneecap, but I do know that he got like a headshot in there, and it knocked him out.
I knew this.
I will give Dunne credit on this one thing because his whole gimmick is I'm mean and I do mean stuff. It really did make Tony look like a tough son of a bitch. Like there was one spot where he openly did like an STF with the crowbar, and I thought Tony was going to tap out. Like I ultimately believed that was the finish, but he got to the ropes, and I'm like, that's really cool. I like the back and forth with the crowbar, just really good stuff all around. And yeah, Tony D, I don't know what's next for this dude now that in my mind he won this program, but I'll tell you, between him, Cameron Grimes going after the North American Championship.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. You were in the right. I really feel like this brand's about to start heating up for me. At least that's what I'm hoping is happening.
Ooh, I like the heat.
I do too. It's so spicy. But yeah, D'Angelo, I thought really did great here. Dunne, if this was his swan song in NXT, I'll at least give him credit. He went out on his back. He put another guy over. Again, main roster's kind of a reset. It would really be something if the main roster was like, because they've done it with plenty of other acts, like fucking Cross and Keith Lee and this and that. I would love for them to genuinely, this would be the one time where I'd be like, tell him to change his character. Tell him to change his tire. Just tell him to change. Even if it was a bad change, like, I want to see, because I'm telling you, like, I'm not trying to be on Pete Dunne's head, sincerely. But it really discomforts me, because I guess, I don't know if it makes me a boomer. I don't know if it makes me, like, rose-colored glasses, or if it just makes me, like, normal. I don't know. But I'm very discomforted about the comfort of like youth in this industry, where it's like, oh, I'm 25, I've got it all figured out, I don't need to evolve, I don't need anything else. Like I look at a Kamitani, I look at a Momo, I'm like, that's my template. Asumi, I'm sure will be the same with Kid. You know, Kid had a big thing.
Right.
I love that all my examples come from Stardom because I love Stardom so much. But you know,
use
like
an example outside of Stardom. Cameron Grimes is a good example.
yeah, Cameron Grimes did the wealth thing. Now he's still kind of on the wealth thing a little bit, but also like embracing his working class like love that he gets and like the blue collar stuff. You know, challenge yourself is what it comes down to. I think Dunn's way too comfortable. And again, I think the dude does some good stuff, but maybe he would actually get better at stuff if he challenged himself. Maybe he's not a bad promo. Maybe he's just a bad promo with this particular character. Maybe if he had another character, he'd be able to find a different voice, and that voice would be better at We don't know, and Dunn doesn't know.
Maybe he
That's
just needs to find himself.
Maybe. I mean, just because you're comfortable in something doesn't mean that that's you. That's a different thing. So,
you know who the last guy was that the WWE thought needed to find himself?
Oh, God. Who was that?
A little character back in OVW by the name of Tommy Penmanship.
Oh, God. Is that fucking Tommaso?
Yes, sirree.
Oh, wow.
They fired him. They told him to go find himself. He did, and then they brought him back, and he's been pretty damn successful ever since, I'd say.
Yeah, and before I fucking turned on him, had one of the best heel runs of that NXT championship. I think still to this fucking day, honestly. I hate to give him that credit, but I don't know if anybody's gotten the heat that he got in that run. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
When you get a takeover ending with the crowd saying "fuck you" and your name at the end of it, like that, then you can come for that crown. But damn, it was good. You had to be there. But and we were, so that's what matters.
You had to be there, he says. Oh my God.
Yeah, you had to be there. Grayson Waller interview backstage. His social media is blowing up. He's been on Raw. You know, he said, you know, after he beats AJ Styles, I couldn't believe he was audacious enough to say this. After he beats AJ Styles, he might go to SmackDown and slap Roman Reigns around.
And Nakamura. Dude. He name-dropped Nakamura, too.
Yeah.
The absolute nerve of this motherfucker.
Bro, it's perfect, though, because when they're ready to turn Roman Reigns face, which I don't even know if it'll be this year because they're on such a fucking high right now, but whenever they are, you run this back, and you have Reigns turn face by beating the fuck out of Grayson Waller. It's perfect. You start off on the right fucking note.
Grayson Waller way too much credit here.
Well, I'm only giving him the credit that fucking NXT has given him, which also may still be too much. Jury's still out.
Absolutely too much. 100,000%. It is too fucking much.
But he says, you know, people have dreams of WrestleMania. Tonight he'll make another Grayson Waller moment. God, you know, that I think is my problem. I'm softening up a bit, but I think where I'll still stand firm is I don't think this particular gimmick, which I think you pretty much said was like a Miz 2.0 type thing, I don't think that's it. I'm tired of, again, people being like, oh, this worked, so clearly it'll always work. Like, no, you know, there's got to be something more here. There's got to be something better for him here. But, you know, we'll get more into Grayson Waller with his main event match with AJ. Here's where I'm going to hand the baton to you, and I would really like you to talk first.
Okay.
Because we got our 6-woman tag: Wendy, Indy, and Persia.
Oh.
Who apparently Vic Joseph pronounced her name Parada, and I've been saying Parota, so I guess it's Parada. Who's right here? Do we know who's right?
Bro, I don't ever go by the commentators because they've been fucking up Ciampa for what feels like forever now. I always go by the ring announcer.
So I can keep saying Parota without judgment then.
I don't know, truthfully. I really don't.
Well, can I say Parota without judgment in this space at least?
In this space, yeah, until we find out a true answer, yeah.
Fair enough. Parota and Casey Caden and Amari Miller. So what did you think about this?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, the worst part of it was Casey and Caden. But, yeah, Indy's great. Persia's great. Wendy was excellent. I really enjoyed her work in here. I love that she wrestles in a onesie. That I just live for that. And, yeah, I mean, who was it that you were talking shit about when you said, like, oh, that's what a springboard for? Oh, Tiffany Stratton. You were like, oh, that's
yeah, Tiffany Stratton, yeah.
Looks like, yeah, like, I'm fully on board with that.
I love how fully on board you've been with my takes lately. I feel like we're closer and closer to being unified into one being, and the cosmos just can't handle that, honestly.
Dude, I was
I can't.
literally I was about to say, I feel like that can't happen soon enough.
Yeah, yeah. See, again, same page, man. The first divide on the comeback's gonna be something fierce. I feel it. I feel it.
I feel like we
But
already had a pretty significant divide though with your Julia take on our awards.
that is true. That is true. But even that, I'm starting to walk back a little bit because, man, her energy lately, I'm like, I know it's a shocker to everyone, but maybe I was wrong. But no, in all seriousness, I can I just say, and I am curious again, sincerely, how you feel about it. I thought I would hate the Wendy Chu gimmick. I actually kind of love it. it's
Good.
it's so different, but like here's the thing. It's not so different to the point of like being a detriment to the worker, right? Like it's not so different to the point of like where it's she's just a comedy wrestler, which she may still be, but like what she did in that ring. See, because that's what I think my thing is. I think I figured out about myself that I can enjoy people that are a bit more comedic or a bit more lighthearted. But when you go in the ring, I want to see you go in the ring.
Right.
I don't like those comedy wrestlers where the comedy is just everywhere.
Like
even the oh my god, I fucking hated his ass. What was that OTT tag team that we fucking hate? That faced fucking Aussie Open, whatever those guys were. It's like even the offense.
Dude, that's the thing. If I really hate something, I block it out of my mind as best as possible.
Yeah, I honestly I don't blame you. That's intelligent. That's what intelligence looks like. Learn from Ashton, everyone. But no, I hate like when even the offense has comedy baked into it. It's like I don't need to see you. Like the only person that came close to in my mind to doing that well was Colt Cabana. Because I would like the spots where like he'd give a guy $1 just to be body slammed by him and stuff like that. But most people, it's like, oh my god, you're killing the tempo of the match. Wendy Chu is that sweet spot. Because you're doing the stuff in between the moves, but when you're wrestling, you're showing me you can go. So I'm actually a big fan of this. Bigger than I thought I would be. So focusing on Wendy specifically, was it everything you kind of wanted? Because I know you even said in the Discord, like,
so.
oh man,
I
is
think
she
it
gonna...
was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that, because again, I know you
could
even
have
said...
really asked for more, honestly. It was really, really well done. It was good shit.
Yeah, I mean, she even wrestled in the fucking pajamas, right? And like, that's just...
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
it was great.
and in the fucking onesie, and yeah, like that's awesome. Persia continues to be dominant. I freaking love her. I definitely see a future NXT Women's Champion in her. And Indy, honestly, it's great to see Indy back in the game too, because I think they were even going a bit far with the whole Index thing. With like, Dexter and stuff, and like, if they were gonna have Persia turn on her, fine. I get that you need like a catalyst for every narrative that you want to set off, but if you're going to keep the team together, it's better that you show Indy for the quality in-ring worker that she is. And, the way they nodded to Index here, I liked, because she got the elbow, right? But then she kissed the ring on the pinfall.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine. That's subtle enough. That's clever enough. And you got to show that you can handle your fucking business in there. I like that. But this whole moping and this and that, for all the reasons that you mentioned a few episodes back on the podcast, like, aren't you supposed to live together if you're married? You go to the same job. You really don't check in with him. Like, what's going on here? And they really should get where the fuck Dexter Lumis stands in their hierarchy and just in their program together, because we didn't get any mention of him tonight outside of that subtle nod, from Indy kissing the ring. And that kind of annoys me too. But this is a really solid women's match. And Wendy Chu fucking showed out. So good for Karen Q. Who knows where this gimmick will go? I guess that's really just up to NXT. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I actually thought it was one of the highlights of the show. So good stuff.
Completely agree.
After this, we get MSK backstage looking at the Dusty Cup.
I thought this was cool too. I enjoyed this too.
I like how they're building it up. And MSK are like, we're going to win the Dusty Cup. And maybe that's how they'll get their rematch. And then Dakota Kai shows up and more or less says like, oh, I won that. And they're like, yeah, you did. And then she's like, oh, nothing ruins friendship more than success. And MSK tell her to take that evil elsewhere. Don't like that Dakota is kind of just relegated to this. I have to wonder when the next big shift is going to come for her. But
I hope to see her in the Rumble, and I hope that she goes to the main roster personally.
I'm honestly 100% agree, man. I think she's done everything she could do in NXT. It's very obvious to me they're not going to put the title on her, so stop wasting everybody's time.
Just ever.
Just ever.
Same,
After that,
bro, same.
After that, we get, God damn it, I don't want to hate this either, but you're not making it easy for me, NXT. Kaylee Ray. I'm not into it. I'm not into the whole, like, every...
I don't want to hate anything ever, but this is awful.
Yeah.
Like, again, I said this in the Discord, and I'll say it again here for people that aren't in the Discord. I want to know whose bright fucking idea it was to bring Kaylee Ray, of all goddamn people, over to the US and have her on NXT. Because I can think of about 4 or 5 women in NXT UK that would have been better suited for a run in NXT US than Kaylee fucking Ray is.
I mean, I agree with you. I will say...
And Ginny's one of them, by the way. I think Ginny would have been better off here than Kaylee Ray is.
Yeah, Ginny would have been great. Valkyrie would have been great. Like, she would have been, I think, really awesome.
Aoife Valkyrie is great. She was one of the ones I had in mind, too, man. She was one of the ones on my little list.
Yeah. I don't know, man. God, she's not even, like, terrible in ring or anything to me, but she's just, you know what it is? She's bland.
She's her promos don't come across well to a U.S. audience. Take it from us, a U.S. audience.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's really what it comes down to, because, like, I'm over here at this point, and I'm just like, what's the point? To me, it just comes off as try hard. It doesn't really have anything appealing to it to me. Like a woman that walks in and turns every room that she's in into a rage room. And, like, I swear to God, WWE can never get the darker emotions right. They do psycho like a caricature. They do anger like a caricature. This is why we need Lucha Undergrounds in the world. I mean, proper Lucha Undergrounds, not fucking MLW bullshit. Because, you know, like, they
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they get a proper characterization of emotions that actually have depth and nuance and believability.
Imagine the fuck out of that.
I am, and it's a lot better than this. Yeah, she wants the title. I still think ultimately Raquel is going to be the Ultimate Challenger. I have no idea who's going to take the title off Rose. I mean, God, I'd say give it to Io again, but much like Dakota, get Io the fuck out of here. Get her in the Rumble. Yeah. She should win the Women's Rumble as a surprise entrant, honestly. Yeah, I said it.
Nice? Wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we'll have plenty of things to say about the Rumble when that time comes. But, yeah, would not mind Io joining that and making it to the Final Four, or even, again, winning the fucking thing. Because she's better than this right now. She's better than the whole division. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Sad but true, mate.
Boa versus Solo Sikoa.
Bro,
again, you know,
this match was, like, serviceable, but the crowd was distracting, genuinely.
Yeah.
Because there was literally one dude ruining it for everyone else, because there was one fucking dude just yelling, "Oos!" And then occasionally people would respond back, "Oh!"
Yeah. Oh, God. And, you know, like, yeah, douchebag, but you kind of had to expect that this would happen when Solo has nothing discerning about him from the rest of his family.
That's the frustrating thing, right? Is, like, you could have brought this dude in, and sure, he looks like the Usos, but if you would have just let him do some unique shit, give him a unique moveset, let him carry himself a little differently, rather than him just coming off like another Uso, you could have avoided this so easily.
Yeah.
It's like they
you really could have. Like, again, I want to be clear here.
Fighting Uso chance at this point, right?
Well, yeah, I think you said it perfectly, because, like, I was going to say, to be crystal clear, that fan absolutely is a douchebag. I'm not denying that, but you kind of invited it when you do this stuff. Yeah. So I can't even be like, oh, grr, that fan. I got to be like, oh, grr, that fan. But, you know, and I hate the butt. I hate the butt. Yeah. This wasn't even a bad match. I actually even liked the post-match brawl because this ended in a double countout. I don't want to give up on either guy. And like you said earlier, I don't want to, like, actively hate anything. So maybe they're like, whatever, if it's going to be a street fight or false count anywhere or whatever this is going to culminate in, maybe that'll grip me. But, this was, I guess, fine for what it was. After that,
You just sound so bored now.
yeah, again, it definitely dipped in the second hour for me. I think the first hour was really good. And then, some of the stuff was kind of meh. But, yeah, that the whole brawl, it even goes into a warehouse and stuff with these guys. But after that, AJ Styles, he gets interviewed, talks about why he loves NXT, says, Grayson has to step up to the plate tonight because AJ says, hey, this is my year. Georgia Bulldogs won the championship, and I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to go to WrestleMania. And, yeah, sounds good to me, Alan.
Would we be
sounds
angry if that happened?
I think partially, I think angry's too strong. I think he deserves to main event in WrestleMania if we're looking at purely wrestling ability. But I think there are other paths to do that. Like, I'd be cooler with AJ, say, winning an Elimination Chamber than winning a Rumble. I think that's where I'm at right now, personally.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you're the same way,
I feel you.
but that's where I'm at. And so, yeah, okay, so yeah, with the whole Sokoa Boa brawl, we do find that at the end of it, he is wearing the face paint, so they're still kind of playing with that dichotomy. Then we kind of get an update on Von Wagner. Jesus Christ. Says the suspension has been lifted and his fine has been paid, but they don't know who paid on his bit. Really? You don't know it? You really don't fucking know it? It's not the guy that's been, kind of scouting him for all these weeks, fucking Robert Stone. You really don't know who paid it. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. No, don't insult me. We've all been watching the same storyline. Come on, Vic. And you too, Wade. I expect better from you. I mean, Vic Joseph's already a loser. I expect this from him. You're the good one. Do better.
Oh my god. Your cruelness gives me life.
I really am a bastard.
Ew, why did you use that word?
I mean, but yeah, we get NXT North American champion Carmelo Hayes arriving to the arena. And him and Trick, man, this fucking talking segment. How'd you feel about it, man? I want to give you the reins first on this.
So very good. I even commented in the Discord. I obviously Carmelo's always been a great talker. I feel like Trick is getting there. I feel like he is growing in confidence on the mic. I feel like he's starting to kind of find his voice because he's always been naturally charismatic, but you could tell that there was some apprehension there, that there maybe was a little bit of stage fright. I don't know. But he was very reliant on his catchphrases, and it just feels like he's starting to kind of branch out and be more willing to take some risks on the mic, and I really appreciate it. And you can really tell that he's going to be really fucking good with some seasoning.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think this is one of the best acts in NXT. And honestly, if somebody were to come in and say, no, John, they're the best act in NXT, I think you could make a case. I definitely think you'd make a case that I would definitely hear out. I love the confidence. I love the swagger. You know what? Like, maybe I'm just in a mood where I want to diss everybody that I don't like, but Dolph Ziggler should watch Carmelo Hayes promos and take notes. Because to me, this is the perfect blend of saying something new each time while also being grounded in catchphrases that you've gotten over for yourself. Because I feel like Dolph Ziggler always cuts the same promo. I don't think Melo cuts the same promo. I don't. I think he cuts different promos relevant to the content he's talking about, in this case beating Roderick Strong most recently.
Right.
And throughout it, he'll pepper his catchphrases. That's completely different. Dolph Ziggler needs to sit and watch Carmelo Hayes promos. And given that the dude's, I think is Dolph in his 40s now, or is he like late 30s? I think he might be like 39.
Around 40.
Yeah, let's see real quick.
He's 41.
Yeah, it's over for you. So, but even so, maybe you can suck a little less on the way out and actually watch a Carmelo Hayes promo and know how to work a fucking stick.
On the way out, he says.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, maybe I'm just in that mood.
Dying.
Well, I am whenever he opens his face.
Truth. How does it feel
God.
to just be so right today?
It's kind of dangerous because I'm feeling a little full of myself and I need to be humbled.
Oh, no.
But
okay.
Before,
maybe I should stop tossing these compliments your way. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely gorging on them. It's so delicious. But they hold a moment of silence for Roderick Strong, and
Dude,
they
I was like,
yeah.
at first, I was like, oh, this is so nice. It's so sincere until he said, rest in piss. Holy shit.
Yeah, with the fucking t-shirts, and he actually pours like a bottle and nothing came out of it. I would have
Yeah.
died if something did.
Oh my god.
Yeah, rest in piss
Brutal.
to Roderick Strong and my ops. He said my ops, and it made me think of one of my favorite rap songs, Who I Smoke, which I'm not going to get to talking about that because this is a wrestling podcast, not a music podcast, but goddamn, Mello, you just have a direct line to me right now. Who I Smoke, Strong. God, I once, you know what? I'm gonna save that for later. I'm gonna hook up with some music fans. I've got some requests to make, because I want somebody to take "Who I Smoke" and do like a fucking Carmelo Hayes render of it. If you guys have never heard that song, you need to see it and the music video. It's fucking art. But yeah, Hayes pretty much talking up his victory, and he says again, you could just call it the A Championship. And God, I say again, at the risk of being repetitive, boy, does he make it feel like it. He really makes. I don't know if we've had a better North American champion, honestly, because he can go in the ring, so he's got the in-ring qualities of say like a Gargano and a Ricochet. But man, that dude can fucking talk. Like I don't know if the North American titles ever look better. I'm just gonna say it. Like, you know, I got to give NXT 2.0 its credit. God knows I've been bagging on him enough, so I'd like to really come in strong when I like something. They are doing everything right with Carmelo Hayes, everything right. So yeah, just keep giving him the ball because he doesn't miss. After that,
Mellow don't miss.
After that, we get AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller.
Ew,
Yeah, again, I missed part of this matchup because I was tending to other stuff, but I did come in when Waller hits the elbow, and just from that point onward, yeah.
God, I feel like Grayson Waller managed to make me miss Kyrie somehow more than anyone else has, because this dude is a fucking jackass jumping off the top rope trying to fake pretend bad basketball moves in his fucking aerial move, and like uh, it makes me think of Randy Savage. And I feel like if you would ask Randy Savage who has the best elbow drop since him, he would say Kyrie Sane or Kyrie Hojo or whatever the fuck. Because like everyone else wants to put panache on their elbow drop, and Savage's elbow drop was always more about being effective, right? Because he dropped that elbow right down on the guy's fucking neck and shoulder area. And then you look at Kyrie, and like what makes her so special is that it looks cool as hell. Like it has panache in the sense that it looks super cool, but also she drops her entire body weight on top of you and drives the air out of you. So like it's like effectiveness first, but because it's so focused on effectiveness, it almost comes back around and looks flashy in spite of the fact that it's not trying to look flashy.
Bro, I am waiting for the IWC to not let me down in the case of having the just absolutely atrocious discourse that Grayson Waller has a better elbow drop than Kyrie Sane. Because like, there already were debates that I witnessed some time ago when it was like, oh, Bailey has a better elbow drop than Kyrie. So I know there's somebody out there unironically that's like, Kyrie, that's how you deliver an elbow. Like, I can see it, dude. I can see it.
I'm going to puke.
And you know why you're... What was that?
I said, I'm going to puke.
Yeah, and I was about to say, you know why you're sighing? Because you know I'm right. You know you could see it too, because there are people that horrible. It's so awful, but it's true. Yeah, elbow drop isn't great. I will say though, good job on the false finishes for both guys here. I actually let out an audible gasp when he was kind of evading some of AJ's stuff and he hit his roll through stunner, because that is his finish. So when AJ kicked out of his finish, I'm like, well, you know, to be fair, because we say this about other competitors, don't really like when you bury the finish like that. I think that's only okay to kick out of a finisher if like you're two really well-built guys or women or whatever, and you're in the main event spot and it's like a big thing. You know, Waller's only really getting started. I don't know if we needed to shit on his finish that early. I'd rather just AJ had it scouted or AJ intercepted it with something or whatever. But for him to actively kick out of it, I don't really know if you're doing Waller any favors in that case. Again, just to be fair, because I feel like I'd say that about anybody else in Waller's space.
I fully appreciate your sentiment here in the sense that you're not doing Waller any favors, but also the fact that they're not doing Waller any favors doesn't upset me, because fuck Waller.
Yeah, and I get that. I get that. I think for me, I wanted to be consistent because I know we'd probably say that about somebody else, especially if we really like them. And, I still think it holds true. If you're trying to make this guy, you have AJ. And granted, it is AJ fucking Styles.
Yeah.
But still, a finish is a finish, right? There's a certain psychology to that.
Yeah.
So, a bit more back and forth. And, yeah, fucking AJ gets the phenomenal forearm for the win. And yeah, and then we already talked about what happened in the post-match, LA Knight, and all that stuff. And yeah. Oh my God, wait, actually, before I wrap up and we get to our next segment, I wanted to say, Foster, I appreciate your face too. God, that was so nice. That made me pop. Oh, that was so precious. But yeah. Yeah, AJ wins, LA Knight returns, the crowd goes mild, except they didn't because LA Knight's apparently very over with this crowd. I don't know anything anymore.
Life is pain.
Indeed it is, Ashton Barrett. All right, high spots, low shots. Damn, I guess my low shot will be Grayson Waller. You talked all that shit, homie, and you got phenomenal forearmed in the face. Yeah, in the face. Who's your low shot?
I'm just glad we were unified on that personally.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. We're doing low shots first, right?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to be clear on that. My low shot is going to have to be the trio of Amari Miller, Casey Catanzaro, and Caden Carter. Because, Wendy Chu, first match, debuting performer, or really debuting act, I guess I should say. And y'all got beat. How's it feel?
Yeah. Ooh. Damn, you went hard. I like that.
Yeah, part of me is actually feeling kind of petty right now.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Honestly, it's very interesting.
Maybe more petty. I don't know.
Yeah. High spot. I want to give a genuine high spot. I just don't know. You know what? Actually, this is so easy. I don't know why I'm making a big production out of it. Tony D'Angelo. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Petey Paisan with a crowbar to the face. You love it. You love it. You love it. So who's your high spot?
My high spot's going to go to Cameron Grimes because he picked up a win over a future member of Diamond Mine, I hope. And he also put himself into the conversation for the North American Championship. So double win as far as I'm concerned.
Excellent. I think we did amazing today. All right, guys.
I think
with that said,
does amazing perpetually, sir.
I have the exact same sentiments about, wait for it, your face. Boom. Ooh. All right. This has been NXT. It was good to do a more...
pal.
Yeah, it was good to have a more positive review of NXT, guys. It's good to feel good about wrestling right now. So, yeah, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to like the videos you file out. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. When you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you never again miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box, including our Patreon, where you can make your own request for us to live react to any shows or any individual matches. You get our price points and everything else on the Patreon link, so be sure to check that out. Also, the two things I like to plug from the Patreon: additional Q&A questions for $1. If you don't donate to the Patreon, you only get 3 Q&A questions per Q&A. We do Q&A the last Thursday of every month, so that'll be coming up January 27th. So we've already got 16 days. January's going by quick. So get your questions in. But if you do donate, that's the thing, to bring it back to the Patreon, the $1, you get 2 additional Q&A questions for a total of 5. I always argue that you should donate the full $3 for Discord access and the additional Q&A questions all in one. Our Discord is amazing. We have channels for virtually anything you'd want to talk about, including submitting your Q&A questions and Patreon requests. So you can do it all right there. The Discord's a very accessible hub for all of your TWitWoW needs. So that's $3 a month. Follow us both on Twitter. I am at John_TWitWoW. My pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions. I think that's pretty straightforward. Ashton's pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for the month. And again, we're getting close to mid-January now. Ashton still has the December schedule up, but I can give you guys a pretty basic rundown for the rest of this week. I'm assuming, Ashton, hopefully both tomorrow and Thursday we'll be doing respectively the Stardom January 9th and January 10th shows, both at 5. Does that sound good to you?
Here's to hoping, man. The 1-9 show still only has one matchup, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously, we're going to try and live react to all 3 of the, or I guess both of the remaining shows as soon as they go up on World.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess the way I will say it, guys, is when these Stardom shows go up, we'll definitely be reacting to them, presumably, at 5. I know Friday will be game night on the Discord during SmackDown, so be sure to join us for that. And Saturday at 5, we will be doing night 3 of Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan versus Noah. Should be very interesting. I think we'll see a lot of Noah acts that we've never formally seen in the ring before, and I am excited about that. And yeah, it should just be a fun time. And Ashton, just I don't know if I'm off base here. I'm only asking because I know we were mentioning it during our Stardom review. When is that show happening that you wanted us to do together?
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Let me see if I can remember the name of the brand. Terminus. The Terminus show is on Sunday at 6 p.m.
Oh no. So okay, Sunday. So that's this week. So yeah, I can plug that too. Sunday at 6 p.m. We'll be doing the Terminus live reactions. Seems like a very different kind of show. I'm pretty psyched for it. I hope it's good. I hope it's a worthwhile investment of our time. And yeah, I feel good. So that's the rest of our week, guys. It's pretty much Stardom, games on the Discord, and Terminus live reactions. And won't be long before we're doing our Rumble minigame and talking all things Royal Rumble and stuff like that. It's getting close to WrestleMania season,
Party!
so I hope it exactly. I hope it heats up. But until then, guys, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Tune in. Peace out.